Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. This one, of course, as I said in the MCN today, expect the unexpected with Kabam. When they're quiet on matters, it's chances are that when I've posted a video right after, boom, there's a response. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. I've already kind of just read something in just a quick flash, and I was like, that's quite good. So look, the changes coming to. We'll read obviously what you guys are kind of saying in response to all this, but changes coming to the next raid, AQ raid week. As you know, a lot of you have said that Kabam have thrusted a mode out to everybody. Was it thoroughly beta tested? Kabam will say yes. I always say no. If it's not tested in the same way as some of the other bits of content have in the years, like, you know, the new Axe, for example, the new Axe, Battlegrounds when it first came in, I at least said to Kabam, you know, Kabam saying, referring it as AQ Raid Beta, the chances are like this is being too confident that the mode is going to succeed, and it didn't. So, look, I think, again, well, I hope lessons are learned with Kabam on this. But let's read. Let's talk from me. Except for this. With 1 week of AQ raids officially in the books, we know there were things that went well and things that didn't. Good admission. We wanted to work to address as many pain points as quickly as possible, and will be making changes before the next raid week. We have been listening to feedback from the community as well as evaluating internal data, and as more raid weeks come and go, we'll continue to develop and adapt the game mode. So just call it AQ Raids Beta, because that's really should be what it should be. It makes it a challenging and fun event many alliances will be excited to tackle. For me personally, I really liked raids. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was new. I thought it was fresh. It's kind of like, for me, it felt like just incursions meets alliance wars, which I'm not saying. The problem is, where does the game go? Like, there's not a lot of innovation in the game. So what do? You combine the narratives of one type of game mode with another type of game mode. You smush it together, and you've got that. And that's what the best that Kabam can really kind of do with it, to be brutally honest. So, of course, yeah, round 2 we're waiting for. This is what the changes are. Revives in the store will change from 2 every 24 hours to 7 every 3.5 days. Which is not too bad, actually. I like the idea of going full on quickly. So one of the big things that myself and Slay and Keen were saying in our group was we just kind of felt like, okay, we're done for the day. We've only been in for about 20 minutes, but it would have been better to kind of make a dent sooner. We're looking at a situation, and as providing you buy these with gold and not it's excessive when it comes to unit spend, that at least gives players more of an opportunity. Well, I've got to get the calculator up for this. Where's the calculator? There it is. So before, right now it's for a raid week, is it 5 or is it 7 days? So yeah, it's halfway through. At least you can make an idea, or you can get an idea of how much of a dent you're gonna get, or whatnot. So did you get? Yeah. So is it 14? It's 2 a day over 14 days, but at least you can get an idea of your momentum is. It's kind of there's more forthright momentum. We'll have to see. I think it's good to make changes. We just got to see whether or not it's going to work. But is it going to feel like you can make more of a dent on a enemy champion, or Thanos, whatever? Is that going to be the case? Let's see. Choice nodes now match the same order as the edit team screen. Good. Well, I suppose it's quality of life. Link nodes attached to Ultron now live on the first fight in each path. That's good, because then it means that, say, and this is one thing, look, when you're doing the first round, the lads for us were doing Maestro, and the Maestro fight was ass. And the AI for that was ass. The choice of combination nodes was ass. But players got stuck. Players were able to get through it and then have easier fights. But then if you were kind of stuck towards that Maestro at the end, a lot of the time, and even if you chose the wrong champions as well, you might be stuck. And if you're stuck, then you're no one's getting to that Ultron boss, and it just feels, again, like we're just treading water and not doing anything. So removing exclusivity for champs in raids. Summoners will be able to use raid selected champions in other content. This will share the same settings as maps 1 and 2. Okay, good. That's something that needed to be done. Overall, we saw players getting blocked and stuck waiting for others quite a bit. Whether this was from revives not being enough for you to push hard in one session, or having to wait on others to clear the Ultron link. We hope these changes lead to smoother overall experience. The changes to exclusivity should also let summoners more freely choose whichever champions they feel they can perform best with in raids, as they will no longer be locked out of other content. Fantastic. Look, this is the thing, is I could be positive about this, but when it comes to like it being actioned, it may not actually kind of feel like there's a difference. On paper, it will look like this will make a difference, but it's always the price is in the pudding. It's always good to test it out. Once you test it out, we can say as a community, it's good, it's bad, it's ass, it needs improving, and that's what we need to do. Sadly, as I said, this should have been really treated as a beta and not something too seriously. And at the same time, there maybe should have been first time only, no limits on the revives for spending with gold, and just treated as a test, and it wasn't. So look, we just have to take it at a bit at a time. One of the big things for me is the AI and what Command plan to do with bosses in general. So we want to make the bosses a bit more forgiving and a bit less aggressive with their ramping. Well, we also wanted to even out the missions to make them feel more consistent in terms of difficulty across each of the bosses. So we're going to find out now. Influence nodes. Timer to gain effective increased from 20 seconds to 25 seconds. Okay. Puncture pierce lowered from 20% to 5%. That will be interesting around the Maestro boss. But again, same problem with the Maestro bosses. The AI around that champion is bad. It needs to be addressed. It probably won't be addressed. And that's what's going to happen. Puncture stun immunity changed to minus 100% stun duration. Strength's Fury reduced from 100% attack to 75%. Dire's precision reduced from 60% to 30%. So again, this is all down to trying to test out, and we'll have to kind of like see, will this work effectively? Will this be fun? This is good news. See, it's annoying because I just got round the kind of not rotation, but I got the kind of like movement in to do intercept against Thanos. But it looks like that intercept mission has changed to strike with a light attack while defender is not stunned. And that's going to be Thanos saith. And block mission is changed to knock down the opponent. But again, this is a problem. Like we will have to see how this puncture pierce reflects how things play out, because it was a case. It was OTT. It was over the top and felt like you had to spend a lot of units to push through it. Overall as well, boss boost HP threshold increased from 10% to 12%. So that may help out and it may feel like you're making a difference. But of course, do bear in mind, this will be the first time we will be playing the mode with a bit more thought about champions we're taking in. Before, a lot of people were saying, use this champion. And for myself, I wanted to test out the likes of Colossus and see how it went. I actually quite enjoyed Colossus in that particular content, but there comes a point where I probably would have been best choosing something else. It was good, but I probably would have preferred using something else. And maybe I can use something different down the line. We'll have to see how things go. So roll boost tuning. Roll force now grants all attacks true damage while attacking. Null break armor break increased from 80% to 25%. Super buff intensify increased 5% to 10%. Total from 50% to 100%. Prowess ender now grants 25% critical rating for each prowess active during special attacks. And that may be good. Sorry, I didn't put that into shot. And that may be good to kind of at least change up who you're using and kind of figure out stuff a bit more. And Kabam say we want to even out the roll boost some more, as well as give all champs in the mode some more consistent damage with true damage. This won't suddenly make everyone do as much damage as Iron Man critical armor, or let you make clips with Hulk Buster like Karate Mike. Overall, we're pretty happy with how raids have gone so far. I love seeing you folks wishing for more of it. We'll be keeping a close eye and making as much feedback as possible. Yeah. So as I do like raids. I like raids. I think that it's a good mode. Problem is the way it was put in, just not great. So we are the guinea pigs. Hopefully this season improvement. But as I said, Kabam can put in paper what they plan to do, and it looks relatively good. It's only when you get into the mode that you'll find out whether or not it sinks or swims in general. But yeah, there's still this other stuff. Bug fixes, something that needs to be kind of like done. But a lot of positive feedback. Yeah, good start. Charges still wiped on a disconnect. That's another thing as well. Those bugs. We just said bugs. And yeah, any talks about letting dot scale with Ryle bonuses. So there's a lot to this. There's a lot kind of like there's a lot more that needs to be looked into. We will have to see and test and stuff like that. There is one final thing that seems to be a bit of a bugbear. Oh, there's actually maybe a couple. And of course, there will be kind of a good point to say about, potential compensation for raid tokens. But the thing is, we got all that glory, so I don't think we're getting that. And I think the final point for me is Kabam don't really cover things of the nature of RNG rewards. Is that something that people like? I kind of like it, but kind of don't. Especially if I was looking to kind of work quite hard. At least now, if it feels like the event has been not nerfed, but the mode has been kind of like scaled down in its difficulty, at least maybe it feels like there's something I'm getting from that. But again, it's investment. You got to invest to go into it, and RNG rewards may not yield exactly what you want from it, and that could be a bit of an issue moving forward. What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on some of the things that Kabam have said they're going to change? Put it in the comment section down below, and I'll see you all soon. Much love and goodbye for now.